In the bustling financial districts of Shanghai and the vibrant markets of Mumbai, a modern-day gold rush is underway. Central banks are buying it by the ton. Anxious investors are lining up, eager to get their hands on what they see as the ultimate safe haven. The price of gold has soared, climbing over 50% this year alone, a gleaming testament to global economic anxieties, persistent trade tensions, and the looming possibility of interest rate cuts by the U.S. Federal Reserve. A tangible fever has gripped much of the world, a desperate scramble for the security of this ancient, immutable metal. Yet travel east to the meticulously organized streets of Tokyo, and you'll find a scene that is strikingly, almost surreally, different. Here, there are no frantic queues snaking out of bullion dealers' doors. There is no palpable sense of urgency. Instead, you might see an elderly couple quietly sipping green tea, glancing at the soaring gold prices displayed on a screen with little more than passing curiosity. While the rest of the world seems to be panicking, Japan remains an island of calm indifference. The question is, why? What separates the Japanese mindset from this global obsession with gold? This stark contrast is more than just a fleeting market anomaly. It's a window into profound cultural and economic divides that have been centuries in the making. Across much of Asia, gold is deeply woven into the very fabric of society. It is more than just an investment. It is a talisman, a symbol of prosperity, a spiritual protector, and a tangible promise of wealth passed down through generations. In Japan, however, this reverence is largely absent. For many Japanese, gold is simply a shiny accessory, component of high-end jewelry or a luxury item, but rarely is it considered a cornerstone of financial security. To understand this divergence is to understand two fundamentally different philosophies of what it means to be secure in an insecure world. In nations like India, the connection to gold is almost sacred. It is an indispensable element of life's most significant rituals. No grand wedding is complete without the bride being adorned in intricate gold jewelry, a practice that serves as both a cultural tradition and a form of dowry, transferring wealth and providing the new couple with a financial foundation. Beyond these ceremonies, gold is a trusted hedge against the relentless erosion of inflation, a physical asset that holds its value when paper currency falters. Millions of Indian households rely on their personal gold reserves as a private bank, a source of liquidity in times of need. A similar fervor can be seen in China, where a burgeoning middle class, wary of a volatile stock market and a tightly controlled real estate sector, has turned to gold with voracious appetite. For them, it is a crucial diversification tool, a tangible asset outside the direct control of the state-run financial system. In Vietnam, the historical memory of hyperinflation and severe currency devaluations has embedded a deep-seated trust in gold. For decades, it has served as the primary store of value, a parallel currency that citizens rely on when their faith in the official dong wavers. In these societies, gold is not just a commodity. It is a lifeline. But in Japan, the narrative is entirely different. Despite being the world's fourth largest economy with a population of approximately 123 million people, its citizens' relationship with gold is astonishingly distant. The average household's holding of this precious metal is minuscule, estimated to be around a mere 6.9 grams per person. This figure is dwarfed by the holdings in other affluent and even developing Asian nations. In Japan, gold is rarely perceived as a protective asset. When a Japanese individual purchases a gold item, it is far more likely to be a piece of Cartier jewelry or a luxury watch appreciated for its craftsmanship and aesthetic appeal, rather than its intrinsic value as a financial buffer. The very idea of stockpiling gold bars or coins in a home safe as a defense against economic collapse seems almost alien to the modern Japanese psyche. The question of why this is the case leads us down a path of unique historical experiences and societal structures that have shaped a profoundly different approach to risk and security. A key piece of this puzzle lies in the financial habits and historical memory of the Japanese people. For generations, Japanese households have cultivated a powerful tradition of saving. They are, by nature, among the world's most diligent savers, but their preferred vehicle for this savings is not gold. It is cash and bank deposits. This deep-seated trust in the banking system and the national currency, the yen, is a cornerstone of their financial worldview. Furthermore, the practical realities of life in Japan play a significant role. The country is a hotspot for natural disasters, earthquakes, tsunamis, and typhoons are a constant threat. In the face of such emergencies, what people need is immediate liquidity. Physical gold, however valuable, must be transported, authenticated, and sold. Cash, on the other hand, is instantly usable, providing the most practical form of security in a crisis. This preference for liquid assets is not just a habit, it is a survival strategy honed by generations of experience with nature's unpredictable power. This aversion to risk and speculation was also seared into the national consciousness by the traumatic events of the late 20th century. During the 1980s, Japan experienced an unprecedented asset price bubble. The stock market and real estate values soared to astronomical heights, and the speculative frenzy extended to assets like gold. People poured their savings into anything they believed would continue to rise in value. But in 1990, the bubble burst with devastating consequences. The stock market crashed, property values plummeted, and the nation was plunged into what became known as the lost decades. A prolonged period of economic stagnation and deflation from which it has only recently begun to emerge. This collective trauma left an indelible scar on the Japanese psyche. It bred a deep-seated culture of risk aversion, a profound distrust of speculative investments, and a powerful preference for stability and capital preservation over the potentially fleeting gains of market gambles. For the generation that lived through the crash, the allure of a speculative asset like gold was forever tarnished. Security was no longer found in chasing ever higher prices, but in the certainty of a bank deposit and the stability of the yen. This internal psychological framework is reinforced by an external environment of remarkable stability. Japan boasts a society built on a foundation of high social trust, exceptionally low crime rates, and a long history of political stability. The social contract is strong. Citizens generally believe that the system is designed to protect them. This sense of security is further bolstered by a robust social welfare system that provides a comprehensive safety net, including universal health care and pensions. For decades, the country also experienced remarkably low inflation, often hovering below 2% or even dipping into deflation. In such an environment, the primary motivation for buying gold in other countries is a hedge against inflation. Social unrest or institutional collapse simply does not exist. The prevailing mindset is a logical one. Why do I need to hoard a metal in my home when my society is safe? My government is stable, my money holds its value, and the system is here to support me. In Japan, the ultimate safe haven is not a physical object, but the institution of society itself. Therefore, the great divergence in the global gold market becomes clear. While in many developing and even some developed economies, gold continues to fulfill its ancient role as the ultimate safe haven. A shield against uncertainty and institutional failure in Japan, the perceived need for such a shield has all but vanished. The country's mature financial system, its a deeply ingrained culture of saving in traditional vehicles, and the profound stability of its society have rendered gold's traditional functions largely obsolete. It is not that the Japanese are unaware of gold's rising price or its global significance. It is simply that, for them, it does not answer a question they are asking. They have found their security elsewhere. And so, even as gold prices breach new, dizzying highs, and the rest of the world is gripped by a feverish desire for this gleaming metal, the Japanese remain steadfast. They continue to put their faith not in a tangible asset, but in an intangible concept, the stability of their institutions and the reliability of their social contract. They stick with their bank deposits, their government bonds, and their stacks of yen, not out of ignorance, but out of a deeply rooted conviction. For them, true security, the kind that endures through economic storms and global panics, does not lie in holding a piece of the Earth's most precious metal. It lies in the collective trust and systemic stability they have painstakingly built over decades. In a world chasing a golden illusion of safety, Japan has found its own far more deeply anchored form of wealth.